Right, tomorrow night at Anfield, we are going to see a prelude to the League Cup final. It's Liverpool taking on Chelsea. It is first taking on 8th, but if you know anything about this fixture, you'll know that that doesn't mean anything because league standing or form going into this match goes out the window. When Chelsea play Liverpool, it comes down to that one fixture, and the background noise of how their seasons have gone doesn't really mean all that much because if you look at the last 5 years, there's been nothing to separate these two teams, and as crazy as it might sound, based off this season's form, I don't see tomorrow being all that different. But before we get into all that, people, welcome back to the Joey Knight podcast. If you are new around here, at the end of the video, if you like the content and you want to see more from myself, please hit the subscribe button. This second right now, smash that like button. It helps me pump these videos out there more than you can imagine. We are still on holiday, but we're not outside today with that backdrop because there's some drilling going on out there and I don't speak Spanish to tell them to stop. So, you know, not that they would anyway. Anyway, in this video, we are going to preview the match. We're going to speak about Chelsea. We're going to speak about Liverpool. I am going to give my starting 11 for this fixture, and as you guys requested it in the comment section on my last video, Josh Aveste has sent in his starting 11 also. Let's get into it. Right, so I've been quite vocal recently of saying that I believe Chelsea have now turned a corner. Does that mean we're now going to push and make a late challenge for Champions League spots? I don't know, probably not. However, if we were to win this fixture, then I would be putting my neck on the line and saying we are going to push on now because that would solidify my claims that we have turned this corner. Now, I believe we're getting harder to beat. If you look at the last few fixtures when we have been beat, I think it's twice in the last 10 games. It's not like teams have just blown us away and it's not like teams have played us off the park. You know, when we were beat against Everton, we were just played off the park by them in terms of them wanting it more, showing more hunger, more fight, more desire. When we've lost recently, it comes down to a lack of a clinical goal scorer, and we still haven't got one. So I don't think I can wholeheartedly say I expect us to go and beat Liverpool in this match, but I do think that the league standing, as I said, doesn't really play all that much significance because Chelsea and Liverpool have an illustrious history, don't they? Going back all the way to Mourinho's first term as Chelsea manager. Obviously, Chelsea and Liverpool played a lot around that time. Famous matches, the ghost goal in the Champions League semi-finals, was it? Was it the semis? It was the quarters? It was the semis. I think it was the match before Istanbul, but either way, yeah. You know, there's a lot of history. There's a lot of bad blood at times between these two teams, and we obviously did see these two teams meet at the start of the season, and at the start of that game, I remember feeling like Chelsea were a little bit out of our depth. I remember thinking, okay, the class of Mo Salah, how quickly Liverpool's midfield had seemed to adapt and fit in. You know, Szoboszlai and McAllister had seemed to hit the ground running, probably a lot quicker in comparison to Enzo and obviously Caicedo, who wasn't at the club, hadn't been signed at the time of that fixture. But I was really impressed by Liverpool. But then something happened around the half-hour mark. I think it was Liverpool got a goal disallowed through Salah, I believe. And then it sort of kicked Chelsea into life and we started to make a real match of it. And obviously, at the end of that fixture, bearing in mind, we had put the ball in the back of the net twice as well. One was ruled out, Ben Chilwell. But at the end of that fixture, I remember thinking, right, okay, these teams are both going to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. Liverpool will be right up there and Chelsea will be right up there. Well, I was half right because Liverpool are right up there and Chelsea aren't. But it really is a tell of how our season's gone to see how we performed in that match and then the inconsistency that we've shown since then. So what would this match, winning this match, mean to Chelsea? Well, it would mean that temporarily we move above Man United in the league. Depending on how Brighton get on tonight against Luton, it means that we could move above them in the league. And obviously, we would then strengthen our position to be able to say we'd be going into the latter parts of the season, definitely still in the hunt for European football. I believe that as the table starts to form some sort of shape now, you're starting to see that Chelsea are, outsiders there, but they are within a chance of getting European spaces, you know, whether that's Champions League, I doubt it, but definitely Europa League, and I can tell you now, I'd love a Europa League run next season. So it would mean a lot if Chelsea could get a win in this fixture, and obviously the form we're going into it with, it's not bad, it's not great, it's not bad. I think that we would be lying to say it wouldn't mean more to Liverpool to get a result in this match, because if Liverpool were to get a result in this match, they're going to pull away from Man City. Man City obviously have a game in hand on Liverpool, but I think it would make it about a 5-6 point lead. It means that they would be going into a massive match against Arsenal, one of their closest rivals in the table, on Sunday, with daylight between those two teams. And obviously, we can't ignore the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that Jurgen Klopp has now announced that his departure from Liverpool is imminent. It's coming at the end of the season. And I'm very happy that we are not the first team to play at Anfield since that announcement. Obviously, that award, if you would call it an award, goes to Norwich. Obviously, they were thumped there. They always get thumped by Liverpool. It's the Luis Suarez match, that one. Suarez used to love a goal against Norwich, a goal or 5. Anyway, we're not the first team to play at Anfield since this news, so that takes a little bit of the edge off, but let's not pretend that the crowd aren't still going to be bang up for it. Let's not pretend that there won't be occasion and emotion that isn't normally there because of the news of Jurgen Klopp's departure. So we're going to have to battle with that. But one thing we won't have to battle against is Mo Salah. He is obviously out through injury at the moment, and he was one of their most vital weapons in that match earlier in the season against us. He was pulling strings, and I really wouldn't fancy our chances as much if Mo Salah was there in that lineup. Obviously, Luis Diaz, you got over on the other side. We'll have to see who we match him up against when I announce my team. But, you know, if he was to start there, he will be a bit of a danger man for them. But he's not pushed on. Listen, he's had things go on outside of football, which obviously we all send our sort of condolences and our support to him for. But he hasn't pushed on this season in the way that I thought that he might. I think that he's the next one at Liverpool. So let's see how that all pans out. But without any further ado, I want to get you guys into my starting 11. My team sheet, the 11 that I want to see Pochettino field to give us the best opportunity of winning this game. And we start with a bit of a problem because I believe Robert Sanchez may be back in contention for this game. Is he back in contention? I'm pretty sure he's back in first team training. Robert Sanchez or Petrovic? Sanchez, Petrovic. Sanchez, Petrovic. Easy, Petrovic. Robert Sanchez can't be getting anywhere near this team now. Petrovic is giving me Vicario vibes this season. He is a goalkeeper that's come in with little acclaim, little fanfare. No one really knew about him. And as soon as he's been given the chance after Robert Sanchez's injury, he has just come through every test with flying colours. Petrovic has saved us points in the league table this season, and I don't believe that we can say that about Robert Sanchez. I think that because Robert Sanchez have made 1 or 2 high-profile mistakes in his matches, 1 or 2, about 10 or 12, but because he had made those mistakes, he was looked on unfavourably, and actually some of his good work was going unnoticed because it was being overruled by some of the mistakes and the gaffes he had made. But all that being said, Petrovic just instills me and everyone inside Stamford Bridge, everyone watching at home, with such more security. Does that make sense? I've gone with it now. We feel safer with Petrovic. We really, really do. So let's look at the back line. Straight away, we've got a decision over at right back because Malo Gusto will apparently be available for this game. But the question is, do we stick Malo Gusto straight back in there? We know we're still going to be without Reece James for a significant amount of time. Alfie Gilchrist has played there and he has looked good there. But Malo Gusto is on a different level. It's a really hard one. It is a really hard one because I don't want to risk rushing Malo Gusto back. We've also got to remember that Axel Disasi has looked half decent at right back when he's played there. We knew that Caicedo could play at right back, but we've never seen him there, which is weird because Pochettino absolutely loves to tinker with positions. I'm actually shocked now thinking about it. We've never seen Caicedo at right back. Pretty seen him at left wing this game. I am going to go... right, I've got a decision to make here. I want to put either Malo Gusto there or Gilchrist there. I'm not opting for Disasi there. If I put Malo Gusto there, am I at risk of rushing him back and then potentially, you know, things could go wrong for us? I am at risk of that. But this is a huge match and I'd love to get the win. I'm putting Malo Gusto straight back in. Is that bad? Should I be resting him more? I don't know. He's young. He's only missed 2 games. I reckon stick him straight in there. There's nothing wrong with putting people in from the start and then bringing them off at half time, surely. So let's go Silva and Badiashile in the centre-back pairing. I would have picked Colwell, but he is still out. Badiashile over Axel Disasi. Again, I'm rating a lot more the performances of Axel Disasi recently, but Badiashile for me is a better centre-back and then for me has to go there. Ben Chilwell over at left-back. The midfield 3, as I always say, I'm a broken record here, but it does pick itself. It is Enzo, Caicedo and Gallagher. Now, Gallagher is one man that I believe would be very important in this match. I think his standard has dipped ever so slightly in the last few matches, but he's still one of our better players. And I think in this match is going to be very important because I think the battle of the midfield here could be a real significant one, and one that I really, really think we need to be coming out on top of. I don't know. Let's just run with it. Up top, here is where it gets interesting. Cole Palmer on the right-hand side. Let me go with the left-hand side. I'm going to go Raheem Sterling. I think if Raheem Sterling can have the sort of match he had against Man City, against Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, who we know loves to bomb on and we know loves to play further forward, Raheem Sterling's going to find himself in so many opportunitous spaces. Is opportunitous a word? You know, he's going to find himself in positions where he's got an opportunity to get a goal or assist a goal. And if his timing is right, if his final product is to the level that we've seen when he's at his best, he's going to be on the score sheet. He's going to be on the assist sheet if they line him up there. And if they have Trent at right back, which I'm sure they will. So he's a vital one over there. Mykhailo Mudryk, he's not shown enough for me recently. And he has been given, all right, he hasn't started every single game. But this thing about, Mudryk needs to start every game. No, he doesn't. He's got a higher price tag on his head, but what do we do? Start him instead of Palmer? Start him instead of Sterling, who's performing better than him at the moment? So, I don't know. Big game management, know-how, coming up against these sort of players. I think that you're going to have to back Raheem Sterling and see Mudryk maybe off the bench. It obviously means that I'm not starting Madueke in this match as well, because my number 9, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to rush him back and go with Nkunku. I just don't feel we can put Brower in there. Now, bearing in mind, I am very aware Pochettino won't go with this. Pochettino will not go with Gusto straight back in a right back, and he won't go with Nkunku straight in a, number 9. But this is my starting 11, all right? Poch, you want to do your one, make a YouTube channel. We don't have to. You're Chelsea manager. You can just pick it. But either way, this is my one. I'd put Nkunku straight in there. Listen, if it's not going well, sub him off at half-time. I don't like, is there any record to show that you're more likely to get an injury in the first half than the second half? And I think Nkunku's good for 45 minutes, surely. So I think we should have him straight in there, man. Really let him have a go at that Liverpool backline. I don't really want to see Cole Palmer in the false 9. I also don't want to see Brower in there because Brower's just not offering enough. I don't mind the number 9 not scoring. I'd rather he fucking did, but I don't mind it. Like, if his hold-up play is really good and he's bringing others into play, and I'm just not seeing that from Amanda Broher at the minute. And also, we're hearing that clubs are now, right towards deadline day, picking up interest in Amanda Broher. They want to loan him, we want a permanent sell. And, with his injury record recently, if we are going to opt for a permanent sell, and if I'm putting to the side my feelings on it, and that's what we're going to do, maybe we should leave him out for this match and see if anyone comes in for him on deadline day. So I'll go in Nkunku there, to be honest. And I think as the game goes on, you could either sub Brower on, you could move Cole Palmer into that false 9 position and get Mudryk or Madueke on. There are different bits and pieces, different things we could do. Also, when I speak about that lineup there, right, you can see my lineup on screen now, and it's a good lineup. But I'll tell you one thing, one little change there that I wouldn't be adverse to seeing, and that is I wouldn't be angry at Conor Gallagher coming out of that lineup and Carney Chukwuemeka coming straight in. I think he could do some damage against Liverpool, and I'm almost tempted to do it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with what I've said. Let's have a little look at my good friend and channel fan favourite coming to us virtually today. Is it virtual? It's, he's not in the room with me, is he? He's not on holiday with me. Unfortunately, we'd have a bloody great time if he was on holiday with me. Josh, come next time. But let's have a look at Josh Aveste's lineup.
All right, Joey. Thanks for inviting me on the channel. Usually we get to do this together and have a bit of banter, but unfortunately today I'm coming to you from my studio down here in southwest London. What a beautiful place it is. I have to say I've done some very good decorating here. But without further ado, I promised you and I promised the audience that I would give you my starting 11 for this team against Liverpool. What a massive game it's going to be. I'm going to be watching it with the Kickoff Boys, so if you are interested in watching the live stream, please do watch us on the Kickoff. We will be there from 7:15 tomorrow night, Wednesday night, for the big game. Without further ado, I've left you waiting. Let me give you my team. So in goal, obviously you're going to go for Petrovic. He has been absolutely brilliant. We see Sanchez back in training now. I don't want to see him in the first team, anywhere near the first team, because we know that our boy Georgie is going to be in the team. What a player he is. So then let's go to right back. Malo Gusto isn't fit. He's not going to be anywhere near the team in the next couple of games, I'm going to guess. So I'm going to give the right back berth to Disasi. I thought when he played there the other day, I thought he played very, very well. And so I like him getting up and down the wing. I think he's got the pace to be able to do that. And also we know that we're going to play with a sort of inverted system and an asymmetrical system. So it's absolutely fine to have a centre-back or right-back. That's absolutely easy. Next to him, I'm going to go Thiago Silva. What a player he has been for Chelsea Football Club. Let's see if he ends up getting that long-term contract with us. I'm not sure if he's going to. I think he'll be gone in the summer, but let's enjoy him while he's there. Then, the interesting one, we know that Levi Colwill will now not be fit enough to start this game. Pochettino has just said that in his press conference, so I'm going to go for Badia Shil. I think he was very good at left back when he was playing there the other day. I don't think he'd played that role in his entire career previous to that. So I think he can slot in his natural position at centre back and be very good. Next to him, obviously, you're going to go for Chilwell. Chilwell was rested in the cup game the other day. We know that he came on. We know that he's good enough. Let's just start him here. His hamstrings look like they are okay. I've just jinxed him, so now he will break down and he'll probably break his leg in this game. So if he does do that, please do feel free to blame me and let me know in the comment section that I am a complete and utter failure and a very bad Chelsea Football Club fan. Moving on to the midfield after that travesty, let's go to the double pivot, which will be Caicedo and Enzo. I don't really know who's going to end up mixing these two boys up. They've played so many minutes together. They have stayed relatively fit and available, and they are both very, very good players. Caicedo will get up and down in this game. Enzo, I hope, does sit a bit deeper in this game and gives Caicedo some support, because I don't think that Caicedo deserves to be a lone pivot. To be honest with you, I don't think that's fair. So Enzo will be next to him. He'll be whipping balls through, hopefully able to use his brilliant passing, and Enzo will be up and down. Then let's go straight into number 10, because this is a controversial one. I'm not going to play Gallagher. I don't think that Gallagher is the best player that we could possibly have in this number 10 role when we've got so many other players coming back and being fit and available for us. With that in mind, I'm going to slap Cole Palmer in there. I think his intelligence of pressing is right up there with Gallagher's in terms of the press, and I think he can give us far more going forward creatively than what Gallagher would do. So I'm going to slap him straight in to the number 10 position. On the right hand side, I'm going to start Noni in this game. I think he's played very well when he's been in the starting 11, and I feel that his ability to beat players and cut inside and use that left foot is something that is very, very strong for us, and I feel like he's deserved a few more games to be starting. And I think him up and down with Disasi on that side and his ability to sort of cut in, I think will be very, very good. Then what I'm going to do is go for Raheem Sterling on the left hand side, playing obviously one of his former clubs. I think he'll be up for it. He doesn't have a very, very good record of playing against the big teams, especially not recently, and so it was a tough one for me. I would actually prefer probably to see Mudryk playing, but I think you've got to look at it with rose-tinted glasses off, and I'm going to take them off now. My Mudryk posters might have actually been slightly and temporarily dismantled for the time being, because he hasn't looked very good. I still love the guy. I still think he's going to be a world-class player. I think he will come good. But in this game, I'm going to go with the safer option that is Sterling. If he lets us down again in this game, I'm going to be absolutely fuming, and I will be giving it to him with both barrels. So let's see if he can do that. And then obviously that leaves us with one final position. I was incredibly tempted to put Christopher Nkunku in as a false 9. But he's coming back from his injuries. I don't think he'll start the game, bearing in mind that he has been brittle for Chelsea Football Club. So, with that in mind, I haven't played him. I've gone for Broja. This could be Broja's last game for Chelsea, and I think it probably will be his last game for Chelsea. So let's see him go out with a bang. Let's see him get a goal in this game, and yeah, hopefully he will get a good performance, because I think he needs one. And I think again, maybe we can end up getting £5 million more if he does, and maybe not just a loan, because a loan is not what we need right now. That's my team. I think we're going to have a lot of very good bench options coming through now with some players coming back. I'm really excited to see that. And my prediction then for Joey, I'm very interested to see what you think, Joe, by the way. My prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw because that's all we ever seem to do against Liverpool. Very interested to see what you think. Thank you so much for having me on again, Joey, and I'll talk to you boys very soon when we're in the studio together.
Right, so there's Josh's lineup. No Conor Gallagher. Well. It's a good lineup. I think that either of those lineups that we had put out are good enough to potentially go and win a game against Liverpool. This is the Premier League. Anyone can beat anyone. We know that. We've seen it time in, time out this season. So to look at Chelsea's squad, an 11 they're able to field despite the injuries, to say that we can't go to Anfield and get a win is just ridiculous. Of course we can. Anyone can go to Anfield and get a win. In this league, it's the most competitive in the world. That's why it draws the eyes it does, pays the money it does, and that is why we bloody love it. But can I back us to go and get a win? Yeah, of course I can. No, sorry guys. I am going to go over 2-2 draw in this match. I am going to go over 2-2 draw. So, but listen, I think a draw is a good result, man. If we avoid defeat in this one, and then we've got Wolves at home on the weekend, if we can get a win in that one, we are well on our way to pushing on towards those Europa League spots. And then look, who knows? If we do get that 5th Champions League spot, who knows? You never know what's going to happen. If Villa go deep and other teams could drop out potentially, Tottenham are always only 1 or 2 injuries away from crisis. Even Arsenal aren't looking, like they're going to be winning the league this season, in my opinion. So let's see what happens. But if Chelsea do get a win, oh my God, I'm going to be absolutely gassed, and you lot are going to hate hearing from me, unless you're Chelsea fans, which 95% of you are, so it doesn't matter. People, I will be dropping my match review tomorrow night straight after the game. I'm getting off a flight, I'm going back home, and I'm going to get the content banged out from you. Please, if you haven't already, smash the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, my boxing channel, which will be covering all of my misfit stuff and boxing career that I've now launched myself back into. That is going to be linked in the description for this video, so please head over there, follow my boxing channel if you want to see that sort of content, because I won't be putting it out off this channel. Thank you to Josh Aveste for giving his lineup. Josh's channel is linked in the description. Also, people, let's hope we win this one. I will see you all in the next one.